just to see if it works. Did I fix it? I think I may have. I fixed it. Everything's coming up Millhouse. That's great. I am, that's exciting. Today, we're going to be talking about main character syndrome and how you're not it. You're not the main character. Believe it or not, you're not. That's the plan today. And then we're going to get into TokyoTreat. That's the plan. It is, main character syndrome is everywhere. And dude, let me tell you what. On the road to 1,000, I better get my butt together and get a really good celebration for that million thing. It's right now. It's a simple one. I want to be mind blowing. I think I may have another year or so before it ends, which is why it's not done. I have a year to do it, so therefore it's on the back burner, way on the back burner. So yes, that's the plan today. How are you? I hope you're well. Yeah, yesterday was exciting. I'm on a Discord that talks about, you know, like, because I'm part of the vertical trial demo beta to be able to do vertical on YouTube using enhanced broadcasting. And I'm like, okay, cool, go. And it kind of did. And then it didn't, it worked. It said it was working, but then it wasn't working, and it was a whole thing. So I kind of stopped using it. And then yesterday, in the same Discord, it said, anybody who's part of this Discord, right? Like here, we're finally doing 2K and we're putting the transcoding on the other side. Like, as in, like, I don't have to transcode. Twitch will, supposedly. If you're part of the trial, and I went and looked and I am part of the trial, it is exciting. So theoretically, I'm going to check. Theoretically, I'm currently streaming in 2K and I'm being transcoded down for people who don't want to do that. Let me see if that's true. Is it true? 2K source. And it's transcoded. Oh, sick. That's sick. It looks so good too. Just wait till we play. Like when I play a game, it's gonna blow your mind. It's so good. I mean, if you have a 2K monitor, anything over like a 1080, because it's now I'm gonna be sending you exactly what I'm seeing over to you guys, which is so much better. It'll still be 60 frames. Not much we can do about that. But you'll get the full resolution, which means you're gonna be able to see more stuff. I'm very excited. But before all that, we're gonna be talking about main character syndrome. Let me switch over the music because we got to get this done sooner than later. Watching globs or globs? Watching globs? That's what you're watching. Maintains your streak if you miss a live. Is that true? I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, go watch the VOD. More fun, exciting things is that I have I'm going to be working with an editor. Right now, she's doing a sample for me to see if it'll actually turn out, you know, we can work together. That I'm going to get soon-ish, sometime. And then I'll be able to say, okay, it's cool. And then if that works, I'm going to have an editor, which is awesome. I've been needing an editor for a long time. I haven't been editing my stuff much. All I've been doing lately is just kind of posting the VOD, which is fine because I'm trying to keep this part tight. But it is definitely not, there we go. It is definitely not ideal. I want it to look better. I want it to be a better product. And so therefore it's going to require an editor to take some time. The hard part I'm having right now, if it works out, which one do I choose? Because I do 3 or 4 talks per week and they're all bangers. Every single one of them is just wisdom and amazing and spectacular. So how do you choose? Because I can't pay her to do all 4. That would take all of my money and all of her time, and I would have to pay her a full-time wage. So I'm doing 1. I can afford 1, but I don't know which one to do. And so maybe we should do a vote at the end of the week. Which one did you like best? We're gonna make that one a video. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. Maybe we should just do Monday so I can post by Friday. I don't know. Monday streams are usually a little sleepy. Normally it's Tuesday. Tuesday's the good one, really, because that's when I'm awake. I'm over the weekend sleepies. I've got some coffee in me. I've done a little bit of prep, you know, so I think it'll be better. All right. Let me pray. How's your audio? Is your audio good? I hope it is. Let me pray, and then we'll jump into the talk about main character syndrome. Lord, thank you for the day, and thank you for the grace you give us. Thank you for being the one to whom everything goes to and everything is about. You are the main character, Jesus. You are the main character. Everything is about you. Everything's for you. Everything's to you, because of you, empowered by you. Help us as we process our lives and try to figure out what we're to do and what our gifts are and relationships and whatnot, to live as you live, to live as a servant, to live humbly, to live as one who is on purpose, but at the same time values people. The one who stopped during the most important mission in the whole world just to look at a woman who was suffering and interact with her and make sure she felt loved and healed. You are a perfect example. Help us to do that, Lord. Amen. They're all bangers because exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? I am. How could they not be? All right. Today we're talking about main character syndrome. You are not the main character. And it's not coming from the perspective of like trying to beat anybody up. It's not trying to say, but we're going to use a lot of examples of what it's like to be the main character and why it's better to not be that way. We live in a culture right now that is obsessed with main character syndrome. Man, if you look at any social media, if you look at any kind of half of YouTube, in fact, even Twitch these days is leaning more heavily into live, right? And as soon as you're on live, things are unpredictable and you want to be more interesting and more extreme. And we're seeing, even on Twitch, the more bizarre, the more like people getting in trouble, people driving down the road at way too fast, crashing their cars, people doing things to other people that they shouldn't be doing because they want to make content, right? Main character syndrome, pop psychology. Like if you look at the way that sort of the world is orienting towards people, and popularly, it talks about like things like romanticizing your life or treating your friends like they're a supporting cast, or that the world is NPCs. Like they wouldn't say it quite that way, but it's basically like, get rid of anybody who doesn't serve your personal growth, right? If they're not making you grow, then get rid of them. If they're, you know, toxic, or they're taken away, or there's someone who is like, try not to be rude. Like if it's someone who is not feeding you, but instead is being fed by you, you should limit your exposure to them, right? That's the idea. And it's just wrong. It's actually the exact opposite of that. That is a sickness we're seeing everywhere right now. Influencers standing in the middle of a busy intersection doing a TikTok dance. Have you seen that? Where they're just like holding up traffic, or you see just like this sea of people that are like in each other's way and angry at each other because they're ruining their shot. You yell at the driver on the road that you're on because they're in the middle of your shot. You see people pranking other folks who are like, you know, they're just like retail workers, or there are people who are just walking down the road, or they, you know, they're just trying to be nice and come up for an interview, and they're just asked horrible things or done horrible things. And like there are people who go to the gym and then will film other people, like strangers, so that they can mock them online, right? People who are like, oh, look at that person, they looked at me, and like, yeah, you're human and you're right there and you walk by. Like it's such an exhausting, hyper individualized, I'm the main character, everything's about me, look at me, look at me, look at me way to live. Hey, thanks so much, appreciate the follow. If you live that way, you're going to be one sad dude, right? You are going to be really, really miserable. The tragedy of main character syndrome is that you think it's making you the star. What it's actually doing is building walls between you and everyone else. if you treat the entire world like it's a movie set built for you, like it's the video game and you're the main character and everybody is NPCs or everybody's meant to elevate your levels and you have to slay anybody who's in the way, you are just going to feel so miserable. You lose the ability to connect emotionally with actual human beings. Indonesia's kicking out influencers. There have been a lot of influencers that have gone out there and done incredibly stupid things for just just the worst reasons, and then they get in trouble and they get put in jail. Like, it's, yeah, we're seeing even in Canada now, they're having a where they're doing some kind of law to keep 16 and under or 14 and under off of social media. Because if you ask these kids now and you say, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up, their answer is YouTuber, right? Which isn't bad. I love being a content creator. I love that people want to be a content creator. I love that there's a, you know, a whole cottage industry of people who are just like making their living off doing awesome stuff and showing awesome stuff. But the twist on that is when people get their head in the wrong place and they don't see their content as something artistic or something valuable or something that they're meant to bring to the world to make the world a better place. They see it as, oh, it's about me. I can make myself feel better. And the more loneliness there is and the more sadness there is, the more emotional dysregulation we see in the world, the more people, you know, are really frustrated with kind of life, the more they want to take care of themselves, the more they want people to see them, the more, you know, the hole in their soul is crying out to be filled, and they'll fill it with attention. And anybody who's had a child, right? Anybody who's had a child knows that attention doesn't mean always positive. Sometimes the attention that they want is just attention, and they'll do that to get your attention by being bad, right? And so we have a whole generation of people who want that, right? Here in Europe, we're not allowed to have social media before 16. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Or you could bring back Club Penguin, right? Bring back Webkins, some place that kids can go online and play and hang out and safely. Right. And yeah, there's courses to be a content creator. Yeah, for sure. And there should be. That's a good thing. It's a matter of the heart that you bring to it, which is why, you know, when you talk to, you know, if you're part of Taco or if you read my book or if you've been on this channel for any more than 8 seconds, you will have heard, you know, the idea of Christian content creation. What we do is we see our content, whether it be entertainment or whether it be for fun or silly or TikTok dancing or teaching or podcast or digital art. We don't see it as how can we get attention, how can we gather more eyeballs, but how can we serve the most amount of people, right? It is exactly the opposite of main character syndrome. We are those who serve. So there are 4 truths that I want to give to you about stepping out of the spotlight, why you shouldn't be a main character, and give a lot of examples of what it looks like. Because if you are a content creator or you're an employee or you're a spouse or you're someone who wants a friend, if you can't relate to people, you're going to go through life not only alone, but you're going to feel miserable. And if you compensate with that as someone who just is like, well, I need everyone to see me, so it doesn't matter what I do to them because they have to see me, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Okay. Biology, Biolab G. As someone who grew up with the internet, it's definitely affected my ability to use facial expressions due to spending so much time in developmental stages during COVID. Screens are so much more harmful than people do think, and you're adding so many more good points to that. So yeah, you're right. And actually people talk like YouTubers, like you can see people say, well, here's a great example. People saying lol, you know, in real life, LOL, right? They didn't laugh out loud. They said lol and they didn't even laugh. And like, it's just like the internet is seeped into culture. And for sure, it's going to change how people perceive things, especially if you're an iPad kid, right? If your parents are busy and they're both working and they're stressed out and they're looking for money and blah, 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 and it's just easy to hand you an iPad. And now you have companies that are like using hard science to be able to make the most addictive, most eyeball catching stuff for children. It's impossible. That's why I like the rule, keep people off of, you know, keep the children off of it for a little while, man, because it's bad for their brains. I do too, though. I say lol too. Okay, here's 4 truths. Truth number 1. I'll copy and paste these into chat like I always do. Truth number 1. You cannot do anything of lasting value without other people. Cannot do anything of lasting value without other people. If you look at leadership, like if you want to be a leader in industry, in an organization, of your chat, of your digital community, if you look at any kind of growth, personal growth, or the growth of any organization, or the growth of any church, the growth of anything you want to do, it's easy to see people transactionally, to see relationships as transactional. What can this person do for me? I only want people around me who are going to, you know, like bolster what I do, or increase my views, or increase my output, or increase my sales, or, you know, make me look good, or make us look good, right? It's easy to start to see people and relationships as transactional. If you benefit me, I'll serve you. If you benefit me, you can stay around. But often the deep connection that you're going to have with somebody will be hindered by seeing them transactionally. It actually is a wall that we keep up between people, right? It's like when you start, and you know this feeling, right? If you start talking to somebody and the only time they talk to you is when they need something, and whenever you're talking to them and start sharing stuff, they kind of, you know, skirt around. They don't want to really hear your feelings. They don't want to hear your opinions. And it's like, okay, cool. And then when you do something nice, they immediately want to like pay you back because they can't be indebted to you. They have to be, they only see you as a transactional existence that's a benefit to them. It feels gross, right? It feels gross. Life is meant for deep connection. And if you don't have it, you're going to be miserable, and life is just more difficult. Life is more difficult. Your greatest accomplishment in life is not going to be like your career. It's not going to be your follower count. It's not going to be what you are able to accomplish. Look at the book of Ecclesiastes. That's the whole point. He had it all. The most wives, the most money, the most land, the most creativity, the most technology, the most everything, the highest place. And by the end of it, he was like, yeah, that was purposeless. It all goes away. The only thing that matters is what God says matters. And that's a lesson you need to learn. Here's a book. Don't make my mistake, right? The stuff that's going to matter is the stuff that matters to God. It will be the human beings around you and your relationship with God that will actually be what brings value to your life. Main character syndrome makes you think that people are disposable. Jesus makes you see people as valuable. So here's some examples from everyday life about what main character syndrome looks like. So say you vent to a friend, or I don't know, it could be either way. Let's just assume you're the main character. You're venting to a friend for a little while, nothing wrong with that. You're talking to them 45 minutes. You know, man, this is what my day was like, and this is what my life is like, and things are really miserable, and my boss did this, my boss did that. And after 45 minutes, you're like, well, enough about me. What do you think about me? Right? Like, give me advice and tell me what you think and whatnot. Instead of being like, hey, how are you? Or, you know, like, thanks for that. I really appreciate you listening. It's in what way can I now glean from you, take from you, grab from you something, and you're not even caring what they went through that day. Like, main character is just seeing other people as your supporting cast, as if they can benefit, if they can give, they can do. 45 minutes about you, and you don't even say, how are you, right? Like, there's nothing, it just sees them as a thing, as a gumball machine. Or you show up late to church, you leave early from church, and every time you go home, the conversation is basically, did we like the worship music? Did the sermon like do the thing we wanted to do? You basically use it like a Yelp review. You're doing like a Google review of it instead of actually engaging with it. You don't engage with the people. You just come, you leave, and then all of a sudden you're talking about it like it's a restaurant. Did I like the food? And did I like the service that was today? You see church as a service provider for your spiritual experience rather than a family, right? Rather than the people you're called to serve, rather than folks you're meant to kind of to be with, to share with, to serve, to take care of, and will take care of you. Instead of seeing the church the way it really is, you see it as a place to simply provide a spiritual service. Social media, right? Another one. You have a bad day and you post this vague, dramatic complaint that doesn't say anything, and it's on, you know, you put it out on Twitter, Facebook, or you put it somewhere, you know, on Instagram, like a picture of some sad thing, so you can farm sympathy from people. Oh, what happened? Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's terrible. Or you're always posting your Devo pics so you can look super spiritual. Like it's you not using social media to try to I don't know, to share something creative with the world or share your life with the world. It is meant to glean sympathy, to glean compliments, right? To make it so that people are looking and feeling you instead of, you know, actually picking up a phone and calling someone or actually texting someone or DMing someone who you actually want support from, who you actually want to share your feelings with. You just want folks to see, and you want some pity. Or worse, right? You exaggerate. You make it sound like you're having a bad time. You make it sound like there are people who are against you because you're just so used to wanting that kind of sympathy from people around, from social media. Content creator, it's the podcaster who invites someone onto their show, but instead of actually talking to them, instead of like interviewing them, you're always interrupting them to talk about how your own stories are, or how your other episodes are, or what your thoughts are, or how smart you are, and you're just like, you're there to somehow use them as an agent to show how great you are, right? Instead of stepping back and elevating them and letting them shine and feeding them so that they sound good, feeding them so that they are more interesting, like, oh wow, tell me more. You're always interrupting the guest, interrupting what their thought is, and talking about yourself. They are merely a prompt so that you can sound good. That will destroy your podcast. And any interviewer who does that isn't very popular, right? If you want to know how to interview, go watch Sean Evans, man. Go watch Sean Evans. That man is the best interviewer ever to live. He's fantastic. He's the Hot Ones guy, right? He's just so good at it. And all he does is he does hardcore research, and he's like, so I heard your favorite song when you were 12 was this. And they're always like, what? He's like, tell me about that. And then he shuts up, and that person just starts to spill, because it's like, wow, you valued me. You looked into me. You learned something that all these other interviewers didn't even bother to learn. That's so cool. I would more than happily share my heart with you. It's very neat. It's very neat. Bio says, I'm not religious myself, but I feel like this is incredibly present. People often post or participate in these practices to redirect attention to themselves and what they need, rather than to allow for intended human connection to people far from you or around you. Yeah, that's kind of thing. Sean Evans from Hot Ones. It's and you're right. That's the worst part. And I think it's it's such a bummer, because social media has such power to connect, right? It requires people. It requires us to share. It requires us to open our hearts. It requires us to, like, a picture. Here's a picture intended to be experiences with me. See through my eyes what I'm seeing. Like, that's why there was so much food back in the day. I love this. It's cool looking. It's food. I'm excited by this experience. I want to share this with you guys. It didn't take long for it to simply be, wow, I need to have the most picturesque food. I have to have some kind of special thing. I don't want to just show, you know, whatever I eat. I want it to look cool so they think I'm rich or they think I'm somewhere special. And then, oh, that didn't work. So now we need to bring in AI and filters and all kinds of stuff to make it completely pretend in a place I didn't go, for something that I didn't do and something that never existed in the first place. Because why? I want you to make me feel better. Right? I want you, because I'm the main character. It's just awful. Back when we were just sharing our heart and sharing our stuff. I remember MySpace. I don't know if you guys remember MySpace. MySpace was cool because it was very, this is me. You could edit the background. You could edit, like, it just the worst looking pages because you thought it was cool. Here's my favorite bands. Here's my favorite songs. Here's some stuff. Here's a story I wrote. Here's, you know, a bunch of GIFs I like. It was jank, but it was you. I had an awesome MySpace page. Yeah, I worked hard on mine too. Right? But it was you. I'm not saying people didn't use it or whatever, but it was a different experience. Okay, how about as a writer, instead of a podcaster, as a writer, as an artist, you love publishing. But when people don't engage, or you love posting, or you love, you know, putting it out there, but if you don't get enough engagement, you're mad at your audience. You ever seen anybody like that, social media, or some artist or someone who is berating their audience for not engaging properly, not spending enough time on their, you know, looking at their stuff. Like, it's so egregious. It's so terrible when you do that. Or that you think everything you post is your chance to go viral, or to have some kind of profound monologue that people are going to want to share on TikTok, or you're like, everything you do is intended to gain more attention and gain more stuff, so you can gain more followers, so you can gain more people. So like, it's not about your art anymore. It's not about what you share. It's not about sharing your I don't know, opinion, or even the beauty you can create, or your own style. It's someone who is you're just someone who is trying to gather people, which means you're going to put out the worst, most pablum stuff. This is, and if you think of the movie industry, this is exactly what happened. So a very creative person, right? You got Kevin, what's his name, from Marvel. They sit down and they create Iron Man. They, you know, shoestring budget, not a great idea. Get the right guy, takes off, cool. Now they're working hard to create these intros and to create videos, movies that connect, and then the universe and whatnot. And it's like, they put a lot of effort into this that led to one of the best movie experiences, I think, of most people who saw it. If you were into Marvel and you watched Endgame, or you watched, you know, like the very finales of that stuff, it was mind-blowing. But what lesson did everybody else learn? They didn't learn, you know, put the hard work in, find some great characters, make sure people connect to the characters. They learned, wow, if you put person A in there who is celebrity, and you grab any comic person and then you jam that in there and you do the most generic story ever, people will give you money. And they started to put out just garbage. And then Marvel, because they changed, or Disney took over kind of thing, they just completely ruined it. You see this over and over and over. It's a matter of, we're not trying to make art anymore. We're not trying to tell a story anymore. We don't even care about comics anymore. All we want is the secret sauce to make money, to get it more attention, and it destroys creativity. That's main character syndrome. It's not about the art, it's about you. That's number one. Number one is you can't do anything of lasting value without other people. If it's not in service to others, about others, connecting to people, if it's just about the thing and it's just about you, nothing you do will have value, and it'll all be gross. Disney should not represent creativity anymore. I agree. They stopped creating a long time ago. They are now leeching off of the creatives that they used to have. They're now stealing and buying up creatives so that they can destroy it. It's awful. Awful. Okay, number two. Numéro 2. Here we go. Is your most important skill is developing people skills, or emotional intelligence. As for me, I'll talk about me. I tend to default to, if I can make my stream look really cool, if I can get my thumbnail right, if I can get my tags right, if I can have like the best script, if I can have, you know, the most tech, if I can, you know, like to work really hard on the tech stuff, then that will allow me to grow, or allow me to be better at what I do, or it'll get more people. And it's like, I'm working really hard to be a really good streamer, technically, right? And I often forget, easy to forget, that the most important thing is the people side. I can easily spend, and I did yesterday, right? I could spend 10 hours working on my stream, you know, not talking to my family, not talking to anybody, not looking at other people's streams. I didn't have anybody lurking, nothing. I was just me and my tech stuff, because I love it so much. And I end up, you know, a whole day goes by and I haven't connected to anybody. I'm not saying that you can't do that sometimes, not saying I'm even bad. I've worked in really hard on trying to lurk in more streams. You've probably seen me there, I hope. But the idea is, if you spend time thinking that your most important skill is your technical skill, you're going to miss out on the actual purpose of life. Main character syndrome can sneak up on you when you start believing that your opinion is the most important, or your jokes are the funniest, or your pain is the most severe. But Christian psychologists will talk about how emotional intelligence, how you read a room, or how you practice empathy, or how you regulate your own ego, is actually a muscle you can train. You can develop it as a skill. You think that if I can, you know, like really craft my jokes, really craft my story, really craft my my art, really crap, whatever, then people will like me, then people will follow me, then people will, you know, whatever. But the truth is that the way people are going to follow you, the way people are going to like you, the way people are going to connect to you and sacrifice for you and give to you and let you go, you know, full time, all the stuff you want, is if you work on the muscle of emotional intelligence, of people skills. And it is something you can work on. You might be like, no, I'm super shy. No, I'm not good at that. I'm not the kind of person who can just light up a room. I really struggle with that. It is something you can learn. There are skills that you can develop. Here's some examples, right? And actually the big question, the number one big question is, do you listen to understand or do you listen to reply? That is one of the best questions you can ask yourself. While you're in the middle of a conversation, are you listening to understand what they're saying, or are you listening for your turn to talk? Did you come up with something fascinating to say, and now they've kind of like, wah, 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 and you're just thinking, when is there a break in them talking so I can say the thing? If that's where you're at, chances are you need to learn more about people skills. Because if someone's talking and they're saying stuff and you're able to listen and then reflect back to them what they said, they're going to feel valued. The reflective listening is one of the best skills you can learn as a counselor or as just a person. Repeat the thing they just said back to you and back to them in different words, but shorter, right? Like they tell your whole story about their day and how miserable it was, and you say, sounds like you had a really rough day. I did. It was really terrible. Sounds like you were treated unfairly. Yeah, I think I was, and you should have heard this person. Wow, that's crazy. Sounds like you were hurt by that and you expected better. Like that's it. That's reflective listening. It's not a matter of how can I add my own awesomeness and sound so smart and solve their problem. It's just keep listening so you understand and so that they can feel like they're heard. Completely changes all conversations. Bio says, on a hypothetical scenario, would someone be able to believe they're worse off but actually be worse off? Would that? Well, for sure, there are definitely people who are suffering, for sure. There are definitely people who are poorer, people who are in a bad, having a bad time, for sure. And they should share, right? They should absolutely come up and hey there, furry. One sec. It absolutely should be something that they share. Like in your group, yes, share your problems. Yes, and the group should be like, share your problem. We want to help. But it's easy for someone who's going through a hard time to make their entire universe about that problem. And actually, one of the struggles that people have is when the problem goes away, right? Let's say there's a divorce or a death in the family, and it's really like it's like a spouse or a child. It's like it's really traumatic, and you talk to people and you're telling people how miserable it is and hard it is, and they're giving you grief and they're giving you attention and they're sending you casseroles, and you start to heal from it, or you start to feel better or whatever. Your weird little stupid dumb brain goes, hey, you're not getting enough attention anymore. Hey, you're still weak. Now you're lonely. And so you're like, well, I need to live in that pain. I don't want to get over it, because if I get over it, I'm going to have to become someone else. I'm going to have to serve other people. I'm going to have to, it's not about me anymore. And so that's where you meet that person who's still talking about that same slight, that same issue, that same problem a decade and a half later, right? That's someone who's messed up. Victim syndrome. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Furry says, reminds me of the solid snake trick where they just repeat what they said. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know what that is, when you're playing Metal Gear, turns out if you just repeat back what the person says to them, they will just spill. And that's exactly what it is. It's not 10 out of 10, exactly what it is. Here's some examples of main character syndrome when it comes to people skills, some emotional intelligence. It's the friend, like the friend comes to you and they start sharing their day. They say, I had a rough day. I only got 4 hours sleep, and wow, I'm feeling tired today. And instead of showing empathy or saying something like, thanks for the follow, instead of saying something like, wow, that's really sucks. Why do you think that you didn't sleep, etc. You go with, you think you're tired? Here's what I got. I got 2 hours of sleep. The other day, I didn't even sleep at all. I've been at work. I'm so tired. I'm going to die. Like, that's where you're at. Like, it honestly is so tempting for a lot of people, and you know, for anybody really, to just start talking about themselves and compare. That one-upping when it comes to suffering is very, very, once you start hearing it, you hear it everywhere, right? You say to somebody, hey man, I'm tired. Yeah, me too. You know what? I'm just like, it's just, some people think they're commiserating. They think that they're like, yeah, let's, you know, I'm also experiencing that emotion so that we can get together. But a lot of times it's one-upping. Some people, another one would be someone's going through a really bad time, big grieving, big loss. And instead of sitting with them, instead of being like, hey, here's some pizza, here's, you know, or just listening, or, you know, kind of taking their kid or doing something that will actually serve them, you want to feel like a big, super smart spiritual dude. Because their grief makes you uncomfortable, you start throwing answers at them. You start throwing Bible verses at them. You start, you know, telling them that the joy of the Lord is their strength. Don't, you know, like grieving, heaven is, you know, coming, and all that stuff. And they're in the middle of grief. And no matter how true that is, you're making them feel worse. Why? Because it's about you. You want to look cool. You want to sound spiritual. You want them to shut up about all the misery that they're in because it's making you feel bad. Like, get over it. You're making me feel bad. That is main character syndrome if there ever was one. Poor emotional intelligence. It's the person who's rude to the barista or rude to the cashier because the line's moving slow, or because the coupon didn't work, or because the ATM is down, or because they didn't have your thing and now you're mad at the cashier. Like, what? That person has nothing to do with it. Not only that, they've probably had that same conversation 20 times, and you're just heaping indignity, heaping problems on there. You don't even see them as a person. I tell you what, I have a secret, and I've told you this before. I think it's extremely valuable, so I'll say it again. It is, when you walk into any place, when you're having any kind of conversation, when you're meeting a new person that you've never met before, when you're at the grocery store, any of that stuff, assume that it's that person's worst day, right? Assume that when they got to work, they were exhausted after a bad day, that their dog just died, that their tire when they got to their car was flat, that they barely made it into work, that their boss yelled at them, and that they currently have a rock in their shoe that they can't get rid of. If you see them like that, you're going to be a person, if you have any humanity whatsoever, you're not an absolute psychopath or sociopath, you're going to give that person compassion. Because even if your day, your experience was bad and whatever was bad, you're going to be like, well, it's not their fault, and they already have enough problems. And you know what? I'm going to try to make their day better, because me not being able to get butter was not nearly as bad as their whole dog dying and their car blown up, and like, wow, that's really terrible. So I'm just going to be nice to them, because I would want someone to be nice to me if I was doing that. If that's how you see everybody, and that's how you see all the, the cashiers, the service industry, your bank, everybody, you're going to be a much nicer person, because it's true. And here's the secret. It's true. Maybe it's not that exact story, but everyone I've ever met in my entire life, as a pastor, 20 years, everyone's suffering, man. They've either gone through something so traumatic you're like, wow, I can't believe that, or they're currently going through something so traumatic that you don't know how to handle it. Everybody, man. Everybody. Content creator examples. Calling out lurkers is a great example, right? Just being like, you want lurkers, you want people to come into your stream, and you're like, hey, but I don't feel like I'm important enough. I don't feel like I'm interesting enough. I don't feel like my stream's good enough. So you start calling out people like, hey, how come you guys aren't chatting? Hey, everybody, come talk to me. If you're listening right now, come into, come say something in my stream. And the truth is that if you see your stream as an act of service, you're going to be someone like, well, no, I'm here to make their day a little better. I'm here to become more interesting. I should try to work at that, because they're, their second screen, because they're in their car, because they are, they're trying to get some stuff done, and they're doing you a favor by hanging out, right? Yeah, most people don't like being called out as a lurker. I mean, everybody doesn't like being called out, I would say. But like, you know what? The reason that it's bad isn't because it's, faux pas. it is simply because it's making everything about you. And you're right, people will just leave. A blogger who keeps writing polarizing, controversial stuff all the time just so they can get engagement, you know, even though it's dividing people, even though it's making everybody stressed out, even though it's frustrating, it's getting you attention. You're making the world a worse place, and it's all because you know it works, right? It's just, that's poor. It's going to make you a lonely dude. A musician or an artist who refuses to take commission or refuses to do anything popular, refuses to draw for anyone else, but is always like, I only make my own stuff, I only do what I want, you can't make me draw anything, and blah, you know, like, they never do cover songs because it would get in the way. Like, it's just like someone is engaging with you and they appreciate your art and they appreciate your musicianship or whatever, and they're like, hey, you know, like, can you play this? Because they want to hear you play. They want to, they're not a musician. They're like, this song is good, and I want you to play that song because I think you're good too. And you're like, no, you know, or can you draw a picture of Pikachu? Like, no, I do such and such art. Like, come on, man. Like, just, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about how you can serve other people. I'm not saying do free commissions. I'm not saying you should be a cover artist. What I'm saying is, how are you perceiving the person in front of you? How do you perceive your fans? How do you perceive the people who are following, the people who are in your audience? And are you willing to go, like, for their sake, for the sake of loving them, for the sake of being engaging with them, you know, I will do a thing that maybe I'm not great at, or maybe I don't really like doing, but I think it'll make them feel better. That's way better, right? Okay, that's a big one. Number third point is this: a person with emotional intelligence, high EQ, like, it's like IQ, you know, EQ, can find a place in almost any group. If one of the things that you keep complaining about is the fact that you can't find anybody to meet with, there's just no groups around here I can meet with. There's just no people around here I can connect with. It's just not, there's nobody here. The truth is, if you have people skills, and if you're willing to work on the people skills, and if you stop seeing other people as, you know, people who exist to make you look better, or people who exist to make you feel better, and you're willing to serve them, you can fit in almost anywhere. Almost anywhere. A lot of people struggle with, like, deep loneliness, but one of the excuses that keeps them lonely is the fact that they refuse to step into a group that is a little bit different than them, or a group of people that aren't like them, or they just assume they're never going to connect to people like that, right? Like, I don't want to go to that church, I don't want to go to that group, I don't want to go to the library, I don't want to go to the, you know, that Lego group, I don't want to go to that tech group, I don't want to be a part of that Discord, I don't want to go into that, like, doesn't, you know, all because I think they, you know, they're going to think I'm weird, they're going to think I'm, you know, I'm not like them, and so therefore, what is even the point? But the truth is, and I'm not saying you have to fake your personality. If you just get rid of the main character syndrome and you're like, it's not about me, it's about the group, it's about them. And you don't have to fake who you are, fake your personality, suppress all your weirdness. Like, you don't have to do that. You just have to be kind of authentically interested in the group in some way. Because when you make people feel seen and you make the group feel valuable, and you're there to be like, hey, how can I, you know, uplift folks? How can I be here and engage? How can I help the leader to look better? You know, how can I ask a question that is going to bring good conversation? In what way, you know, can I bring snacks that make people feel good? If that's how you approach the group, you're going to have a good time, because people are going to like you, and they're going to value you, and they're going to care for you, and they're going to want you there. And you'll be like, it's cool. Maybe I'm not good at sewing, or good at, you know, whatever their thing is. Maybe I'm not even that skilled at the game, but you know what? They love it when I'm there, because I love being there, because I love serving them. Great. Bio says, my case, I have really low EQ, but at the same time, I'm really empathetic, so they end up conflicting. Yeah, because you're feeling, but at the same time, you're not totally sure what to do with all those feelings. You're sad on their behalf, you're excited on their behalf, but at the same time, you're not sure if those are authentic, and yeah, it's a whole thing. I totally get that. But like I said, it's something you can learn, and the baseline is simply, in this situation, am I making it about myself? as I'm listening to them, am I trying to talk over them? As I'm trying to get to know them, am I making it so that they're trying to be impressed by me? But just make it not about you, right? It's not about not thinking of yourself ever, just thinking of yourself less. Asgard said, I put together a chat group of guys in my church that like disc golf. Yeah, all right. So we can try to meet up and play. Most people who join are too busy to play, but it's been fun to connect with a couple who do come. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like we're a disc golf group that doesn't even play Frisbee golf. Like we just hang out because we have the same thing. And if everybody comes in with kind of that heart, I just want to hang out with folks that are kind of like-minded with me and talk about stuff. You're going to have a good time because you're not there. But if you're there, like, I'm only here because I want to get better at Frisbee golf. I want to be the person who is the best at it, and I only want to be around people who are going to make me great, and I want to hear tips, and I want to hear tricks, and I want to hear people, I want to get examples of what to do and where to go and what the best courses are. And it's like, man, you are going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time, and you're making it a bad time for everybody else. But if you're like, hey, I want to learn, and hey, I want to hear what people are up to, you're going to have a much better time. Sup, Jay? Sup, Pete? Okay. Here's some more examples, right? This is I like teaching through examples because if you're like, hey, that's me, it'll help. Let's talk about you walk into a social event, you walk into some kind of lobby, you walk into work, and your thought is, wow, nobody's paying attention to me. Nobody welcomed me. Right? You walk into church, where's the welcome committee? You walk into a birthday party, why isn't anybody coming to greet me? Right? You walk into a dinner group, why isn't everybody waving at me? And you might be like, I'm not like that. Maybe you're not thinking that exact thought. But if you say you walk in sour, you're like, man, I don't really want to be here. And you step in to this group and they don't wave and they don't say hello, and it's not like, hey, look at you. And you're like, see, this is why I didn't want to come. Nobody makes me feel special here. Nobody wanted me to be here, right? That's your thought. All of a sudden it becomes about you. And it's not like, oh, wow, they didn't treat me, greet me enough. It's more along the lines of, and this is why I'm not going to engage with the group, because they don't care about me. The antidote to that is to walk into the room and say, who do I see that I can go help? Who looks nervous? Who looks lonely? Who looks like someone like I can go sit with because they're having a bad time? Look, there's a mom that's got a kid that's losing its marbles. I'm gonna go see if I can sit next to them and like, hey, I'm gonna, like, you want me to help? Like, assuming you know the kid, that's weird, you know what I mean? Or I'm gonna go sit at this table over here where you got folks that are just kind of a little bit different, or like, just how can I go in and I can make someone's day better? Because as soon as you do that, you're like, well, I'm not there to work. No, as soon as you do that, you start having conversations, you start hanging out with the people that are there, they start feeding back and you feel better, right? Because you didn't walk in with, hey, how do I get out of this? You're walking in with, how do I give to this, right? How do I give to this? I think I missed a couple chats. Let me just grab one. Mr. Pete said, grandson won some kind of state championship in disc golf. Yeah, I don't understand, but it was a big deal. There you go. That's a good granddad thing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm excited for you. EQ, emotional quotient, like intelligent quotient. Your IQ, how smart you are, it's how emotionally intelligent you are. Bio says, sit next to my dog who's mad at me because I'm giving attention to your stream. Well, Penny. Well, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Sup, Dub? Good to see you. Another one. Say you're into D&D. You love D&D. You love tabletop gaming. But instead of walking into the group, and I'm looking at you, autistic people. Rude. True, though. You walk in there, instead of being like, this is how the game needs to be played. This is, we're going to have, everybody has to memorize the rules. We all got to play perfectly. And this is what it says you're supposed to do. Instead of that, adapt and celebrate how the house plays, how the people play, so that they're having more fun, right? And I know you're like, well, I don't really understand how to play if they're not playing by the rules that I know. Then ask questions and then adapt your style. You're not dumb. You can do that. You learned the rule, now learn their rule. It's okay. There's a huge difference between a DM that walks in and goes, hi, this is all about me, and I'm here to make my story, and you guys are just part of it. So you're gonna do what I want. I'm gonna railroad you. I'm gonna make sure that you make me feel good and look good, and I get to be the main character, and I'm gonna run 12 different NPCs so that I can be super creative, and you guys are just kind of here. And one that walks in and goes, hey, how can I make this experience way better for everybody? I want to fade into the background and let them have a good time. I'm just here to like referee. I'm here to like set up the stage so they can have some fun. And when someone's like, oh, can I do this really weird, dumb thing? Instead of you being like, that's not going to work. You just go in your mind, how can I make that work in a way that doesn't totally break the game, but just because it's fun? Just because it's fun is a really good reason to do something in D&D. Just heard you mention D&D, and yes, there's absolutely huge difference. The DM mainly runs whether it continue or not. Exactly. It's exactly right. Instead of demanding everybody play your way, so celebrate how they play. Walking into a new job. Here's another example. Instead of trying to prove how smart you are and how much you know when you walk in there because you're insecure or whatever, you walk in and you start talking to others and asking them their advice about how things go. You go and you value their experience and you talk to them and you ask them questions. You're like, well, they're not going to respect me if I keep asking them questions. Untrue. If they are a veteran and they know what they're doing and they've been there for a while, they really want you to ask questions because they don't want you to go and assume stuff, screw it all up. They want you to come in and go, hey, what do I need to know? What's the way that what's the system you guys use here? Hey, I noticed this was happening. Can you explain that to me? You will have a better time. They will have a better time. And because you respected them, they'll respect you back. It's when you walk in there and you want to look like the smartest guy in the room. And if you walk out thinking you proved you were the smartest guy in the room, chances are you walked out and a bunch of people didn't tell you you were a jerk. And they won't tell you. That's kind of the worst part, man. They won't tell you. They will just say that guy's a jerk. Just don't listen to him. And then you come back, you're like, well, what? I came up with all these good ideas and you guys didn't use them. Yeah, man, it just didn't work out. Translation, you're a butthead and such a jerk. And nobody wants to follow your ideas no matter how good they are because you make it all about yourself and you're insufferable to work with. So no, we have to keep you around because you run that and nobody else wants to do that. But dude, you suck, right? Nobody's going to say that. Content creator examples. You join a multiplayer lobby. This is the Arc Raiders joke, right? But instead of walking in and being like, hey, how can I become MVP? You walk in and you want to support how other people are doing. Like, be the healer. What? Be the support. Why not? Could be fun. Like, celebrate what other people are doing. Good job, GT, all of it to make people feel better in the group. And the thing is, you're like, well, why am I going to walk in there and, work with all these scrubs and make them all feel better? You will have a better time. You will have more fun. I can't tell you enough that main character syndrome makes you miserable. Walk in there and you start serving people and helping people and celebrating people, and you walk into a place that isn't as good as you, and yet you're there like it's having exciting times. You're supporting and you're making sure, telling people not what to do, but being like, hey, try this. You're gonna feel so much better. I promise you're gonna have a good time. The moment you try to be the main character, and I can set you up with a guy who was top 5 or top whatever, like League of Legends in the world. I know a guy. And was League of Legends? He was top in a bunch of stuff. Once he's good at it, he's just good at it. And I can have him be like, I was the best, period. I am the best. And the lesson he learned was, it's just no fun. I remember him talking about this. He came on stream a while back and he was talking about it. He's like, so I was playing, what was he playing? That is the gotcha game space, so with all the jiggle physics, the one where you get to have the rope and the guns and the ladies. Anyway, It's the reason I say that because they increased the jiggle physics by 1 million. That was one of their updates, and it was hilarious. But so he's playing that, and he got really good at it, and he kind of came at it with everybody sucks except me. And then he just kind of had an epiphany one day, and he's like, what if I play with worse players, which everybody is, but I'm on purpose, but I do it in such a way that they feel better, and I help them and I support them and I say stuff. It's like, I'm having more fun. He's like, I'm having more fun. I'm not winning anything. My team sucks, but I'm having more fun. This is crazy. Yeah, it's true. How about instead of sliding into a larger creator's DMs so that you can collab, steal their audience, you just become an active, helpful, non-promotional regular in their community to make them feel better, to make them do better, to give them a more exciting, better jokes. What if you serve them? An artist, right? Instead of use your social media platform to review and hype up other people's work. What if you did that? What if it wasn't about all your art? What if, because you have a platform now, you could maybe elevate other people's art? You celebrate them. This is cool. I just wanted to show it with you. Well, what if they go follow them? No, it's not how that works. All of a sudden you have all these artists who love and respect you and think you're cool, and they want to help you out and they want to feed because they want some attention too. And all of a sudden you are that person who loves people. It's better. Okay, number 4, last point of this whole talk here. And that is, you can be incredibly talented, but without people skills, you will ultimately fail. Life will fail. You can be a genius, okay? You can be the smartest person in the room, the most skilled professional in your office, the most mechanically gifted guitar player or creator, right? You can be the best at it. But if you have main character syndrome, people might praise your work, but behind your back, they think you're a selfish jerk and they don't want to be part of your life. They want you because you are valuable, as long as you are excellent, but they don't want you around. And you think, if I work really hard on my skills and I become the best at this, whatever it is, then other people respect me and they'll be my friend and they'll like me and I'll be able to be part of groups. And the truth is, people are trying to work around you. They're trying to figure out how to work without you. You are a necessary evil. Don't be a necessary evil. That sounds awful. It is a hard pill to swallow sometimes. It really is. It's really, really tough because we all want to believe that if we work really, 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 really hard and become great at everything, we'll have lots of friends and people will care about us. And the truth is, you can have mediocre skills, but if you have high EQ or good people skills, if you genuinely love serving people, you'll thrive. If you have to choose between someone who is an insufferable jerk, an absolute just self-centered diva, but is amazing at it, and someone who is kind of good at it, pretty good enough, but is actually a delight to be around and loves serving people, loves taking care of people, and it just, they're going to show up. Which one are you picking? Right? Everyone will pick the second one every time. Maybe not NASA, but everybody will pick the second one every time. Because if you don't pick the really good guy at NASA, everybody dies. But your thing is probably not that. Here's some more examples. Top salesman at work, fastest coder in the building. Everyone treats like garbage. They get result, but the moment they're, anything else happens, when there's nobody wants to advocate for the guy who's the jerk, right? They get isolated. They get pushed off to the side. They're not invited to stuff. They don't get invited to social things. They're not on the committees. They don't get to be part of the, they're like, but I'm the best, whatever it is in the building. Yeah, we don't want you on those teams. You just go back to your cave and do your thing because we don't want you around. in church, you know, the guy who knows all the Greek ever, read all the commentaries, but he spends the whole meeting correcting the minutia of people's theology and talking about topics that aren't really part of what we're talking about. No matter how technically right he is, if someone actually has an emotional problem, like their life is falling apart, they're not going to go to you. They're not going to go to that person, are they? They're going to avoid that person like the plague, actually. Because if you're having a bad time and you sit with somebody and you're spouting some bad theology, right? I think God hates me. You know, the whole world is against me. I think literally I have demons everywhere. And I think God hates my guts. Which do you want to hear? Man, that sucks. I'm so sorry you're going through that. I really wish you saw the love of God. But man, I can understand what it's like to go through a bad time, that dark night of the soul, you know, go through that valley of death, man. That's just the worst. Or actually, God loves the world, the entire world. You're part of the world, and therefore God does love you. You're just not seeing it right now. And the demon thing, not exactly the way you're saying it. Actually, demons work like this. Which one do you want to sit with? Right? No matter how technically right you are, the person who actually needs you, needs the gospel, the good news, needs someone to sit around and care for them, isn't going to pick you. Right? We need theologically, technically right people. For sure. They're great. But sometimes they got to learn to shut up. Here's a good one. I don't see it right now, but I know it's there. Yeah, I hear you. So, the host, right? The person whose house is always a mess, burns dinner, orders cheap pizza, but everyone around feels loved and cared for and heard, and you know, like they're clearing off stuff. Like, I'm so, you know, like come sit on the couch or whatever. When you go over there, you feel like they care about you and they love you and you're part of the group. And yeah, maybe that's not because it's smelly and gross, like, but it's not like whatever. Versus the place you walk into and it looks like a museum and you don't know where to sit. And you like, there's you just know that the whole place is like, bleh, like if I touch anything, I'm in trouble. And that person gives that vibe. They're like, yeah, don't mess with my stuff. Take off your shoes. Please wipe your feet. Like, it's just like that kind of stuff. Whose house you want to go to? The main character syndrome will say, if I have a perfect house and I have a great environment and everybody knows how awesome I am and everybody knows how good I am at at housework or how much money I have because my house is so cool looking and I have so many servants be able to help, then they're going to think I'm really cool and I'm awesome and I have value. But the truth is that the person who has a little worse house, a little bit smaller house, people are crammed into, but everybody's having a good time, everybody likes them better. Then they have real value, actual human value. My last name is Host. There you go. Get on it, man. The artist who produces amazing art, but is a jerk every time anybody comments on anything. Oh, wow, I see this in there. Well, that's not in there, you stupid idiot. Right? Or they're impatient with everyone. That kind of thing. The creator who plays everything on easy mode, right? Misses all their shots, sucks at the game. Does singing streams, but they're not great at it. But they remember the name of everybody in their community. They know what they're going through. They can remind you of, like, hey, remember last year when you said this? Hey, remember last week when you did that? How's that going? They ask about your hard day. They keep you in mind. When you show up there, you feel like a human being, even though things are not, they're not great. They're just not great. Which one do you want to be part of? Or do you want to be part of the one where the creator sounds great, sounds awesome, is awesome, great speaker, great at the game, running speed runs. But every time you come into chat, they're like, hi, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. And that's it. And you're like, yeah, it's me. I've been here like 10 times. Oh man, that's cool. Thanks for coming. Right? Which one do you want to be part of? If you are personal, you're going to have loyal fans, loyal crowd, right? That's me. Bad games, terrible singer. Love people. Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. Yeah. I'm not saying that the qualification is to suck, but it's okay if you do, right? It's okay if you do. I had to settle on that. I had to settle on the fact that I had to play games on easy mode, right? When I started Pragmata, I'm like, I'm playing normal mode. And that lasted like half an hour. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not having any fun. I'm turning into a bad person. I'm going to step that down. And I just, you know what? That's okay. Because I use the games as shared experience and time for us to hang out and have an excuse to like be together. That's it. That's all it's for. Yeah, I got to get back into Pragmata. I've started so many games, man. I am bad at ending games. I'm really good at starting games, though. Flight Simulator's my game? Yeah, I know. Yeah, rad, dude. And you got the big screen on the wall, and yeah, for sure. Dude, VR is fun, as long as it doesn't make you puke. All right, is that gonna be the last line of my talk? VR is fun, except for it makes you puke? Sure, why not? That'll be the last line of my talk. There you go. What are you gonna do? That's it. So that was the talk. Here's your 4 things. Number 1, you can't do anything of lasting value without other people. Number 2, your most important skill is people skills. Number 3, a person with good people skills can find a place in any group. And number 4, you can be incredibly talented, but if you don't have people skills, you will ultimately fail. Main character syndrome it's just the worst. It really is the worst. Okay, let me answer some questions now. I will, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna answer some questions to see what you guys have to say. All right, how do demons work? They're bad. They're just the worst. They're just bad. They're bad. But they're finite, they're limited, they don't know everything, they can't read your mind. And their whole job is to tempt and make you miserable. But you can, you know, you don't have to follow up the temptation, and you can believe the truth. They can't put things in your brain. And if you're a Christian, they can't possess you. So they're jerks, though. I'm gonna switch up the music before I answer more questions, because this music is not my favorite. Some people say a man is made out of mud. Why did I start that? Let's do this. How do people learn good people skills? So there's a few people doing everything on demons. Yeah, they do, and it's bad. It's bad theology, really. Like, demons exist. It's like saying that you are, like, if you're part of a war, there is an enemy, right? There's 2 sides. You're good guys, bad guys. You're the good guys, they're the bad guys. And if you are trying to advance and the enemy's coming at you and you get, murdered and people shoot you, they just go badly. You're like, well, it's all the demon's fault. You're like, well, actually, we kind of set ourselves up. We didn't come out with the right equipment. Our plan was bad. You can't, like, it's like, no, it's not all the demon's fault. You just didn't set yourself up right. Like, the demons aren't going to win. They don't have to. How do you become good at people skills? Practice is part of it. Research and reading is another part of it. Sometimes you just got to learn skills. Like, there are skills, like the reflective listening is a great skill. You don't know about it, you're not gonna be able to do it. But if you learn skills, you can read how to win friends and influence people. Like, go read that. It's actually super helpful. There's just some skills, and then you go practice those skills, and you're like, wow, that super worked. As soon as I discovered reflective listening in was it college? Maybe seminary? I use it everywhere, all the time, forever. Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the bits, my dude. I'm gonna scroll up because I definitely missed something. Furry says, I think what I struggle with is I either care for others more to the point I might have to lose care of my own. And that is a danger, right? But that also kind of makes it about you. Right? Like those soft boundaries where other people can you become them. It also shows that you're kind of like, you're lacking your own identity. You're lacking your own value. You're lacking your own story. You're lacking your own confidence. You don't really have something that you feel is like going to get you attention. So you're kind of glomming onto someone else. Right? It still shows a sense of insecurity in yourself. Some people are like, oh no, I care so much that it becomes everything. And the truth is that shows insecurity, because it shouldn't become everything, right? It could be you serve. It'd be like if you ran a soup kitchen and you're like, the only way I know how to run a soup kitchen is to starve myself and only eat soup, because then I'm one of them and I just can't help it. And you're like, no, that's actually not the best way to help people, right? That's actually going to get you in trouble. You need to be taken care of so that you can take care of others, that kind of thing. Where am I located? Canada. I'm up in Canada. Ontario. I'm terrible at most games and I cannot sing, but I'll remember everyone and things going on in their life. I find actually one of the coolest things about being in the ministry I'm in is I'm way better at remembering text than I am better at remembering people. Like if I'm looking at you and we have a conversation and then I come back around to you, I will, if you didn't tell me your name and I didn't see it on your name tag, I don't remember it as good. I love the fact that I get to use text and everybody kind of comes to me at text because I remember it better. Just easier. 𝗧cie still sleeping. Mornings are hard for him. I hope he gets up soon. I miss him. Aw. Go give him a shake. Get up. I miss you. People love that. Yeah. Oh, maybe then don't. Maybe don't then. Yeah. Probably for the best. Okay, so today's stream, if we're gonna be done with questions, I'm happy to talk about anything. What we're gonna be doing, I have this TokyoTreat box, and we're going to be going through it together. I'm gonna be trying some stuff. You guys are gonna be able to see all the really cool Japanese things that are in there. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna sit down and then we'll get this thing going. But feel free to interrupt. It's all about you guys. I want to talk. Like I said, it's just an excuse to find things. No, we're not done questions. Ask whatever you want. Monthly treat box. That's it. Yep. I love it. People say a man is made out of mud. Poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. Yeah. I don't know why that's in my head now. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Okay, let's plug some stuff in. Feel free to ask anything you want. Oh no! I turned off my computer. Dagnabbit. Who puts the USB thing right next to the power supply, man? Bummer. Try it again. Okay, turn on. Jeepers. We'll try this again. Give me time to clean my desk. I have so many post-it notes on here, you have no idea. It's awful. How are you still here? I'm not. I'm a hallucination. I ended a while ago. I don't know why you're hearing my voice. You know the song, How to Save a Life? Yep, I do. I do know that song. I'm hip and cool with it. Get a USB hub and stop using that port. Yeah, I know. I didn't want any more wires. There's so many wires. Once I show you guys my desk, you're gonna make fun of me. That's what's gonna happen. All right, boop, and then boop. There we go. Okay. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. Okay. Let's turn on the camera, shall we? Boop. There it is. I'm gonna put my headphones on. No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay, so you go here. See, look at all the wires, man. There's just so many. It's terrible. Watch a video on it, and I was trying to understand the meaning. Oh, yeah, dude. I think, you know, the learning where music came from and stuff like that is great fun. It really is. But interpreting music, not easy. It takes a little bit of because you got to know what was in the artist's brain. You got to figure out why they are the way they are, you know. Okay. Actually, we do this way. No, we do this way. Come on, turn. There we go. That's the stuff. Okay. It's upside down. I don't want to be upside down. Rotate 180 degrees. That's better. That's better. Great question, Euclid worship. What's the question? I missed something. I've been too concentrated on other things. Bearded Cheese has some questions. I apologize. I think today's topic has played into my question to some degree, but here we go. What would you say are some of the best practices for doing a co-stream? Just could be a whole talking segment. I don't hardly anything out there on YouTube answering these questions. That's a good thing. I could do a short on that. That'd be fun. I think if I've done a few, I would say that the thing that I've learned the most when it comes to co-streams is remember, like, one of the big things you got to remember is you're there to entertain their crowd. Okay. One of the biggest mistakes I keep seeing when it comes to collabs is someone who comes in and thinks they're there to win the game, or they're there to sound smart and gain their own following, right? If you walk in and you are able to say, I'm here to serve, like, I'm here to serve. I'm here to make it so that this other person looks good. I'm here to, like, when we play, I'm going to make them shine, right? If we play. And then when it comes to, like, the content you're going to be doing, like actually chatting through whatever it is, be prepared, right? Like, don't show up assuming you know everything, and it'll go a lot better. Is there anything like specific you can think of that would be a better, like, kind of where you're going with that? Because to me, if you come in with the, I'm going to be prepared so that I have something to say, like, I've been on places where they're like, come up, give me 5 things that are, you know, give me their top 4 weirdest games you've ever played. Took me a while to put it together, man. But here's the thing. Once I did, it made for a much better conversation. I was ready to go. And because my thought was, you know, how can I make it so that their audience had never heard of this stuff before, and it was coming completely out of left field. Isn't that more interesting? It was, because I was there to serve their podcast, to serve their video, not because I was there to make myself better, right? I think that's a huge mistake people make. You need to be a little taller. You're in the way. There we go. Burp. Don't judge all my crumbs. All right. Doot. Great question. Said Ukulele. She said, would it be a co-stream as an event, or like one-off as a regular thing? Doesn't matter. Good question. I'm just now learning there's a difference. I guess understanding both the nuances of them would be helpful. So if it was a regular thing, then you just, no, I think it's the same. You're there to make that other person look good, to make their community excited, or our community, if you want to make it regular, and you need to be prepared, right? I honestly think that other than, I can't think of anything else that you'd really need, because if that's where your heart's at, you're going to come in and it's going to be a good experience for everybody. No? But if you're walking in there and you're like, I want to steal their audience, and I don't know what we're talking about, then you suck. Hey there, Andy has guts. Good to see you. I'm going to change my category. Give me a second here. You have a person regularly with you. So I guess actually that's a good point. If we're taking, are you the host, or are you the one on there? I just assumed that you were the one going on. Is you're the one hosting? Is that, because that's a good question. Like, yeah, I didn't answer that at all. Let me change my. Yeah, it got to be food. Food. F-O-O-D. Yeah, if you're on your own channel, you want to collab more, as in you're enjoying collabing you want to because you don't enjoy. Well, no, if you're talking about me, I don't collab very well at all. I'm just bad at it. I wish I was much better at it. But if you're the host, I think both are important. Obviously it's be prepared. That's part of it. Be prepared. Make sure you have a plan when you walk into it. Don't assume that other person's going to carry it. But at the same time, inform them what's going on. Have a plan, man. Like when you show up, this is when to show up. I'm going to be doing this. This is when I'll introduce you. I have a pre-roll that I play. I usually start with saying hello. This is how the culture on my stream is. Usually we hang out, I do stuff. Sometimes we'll stop the game and we'll have a conversation, or we don't stop the game. We're in the middle of something. So, when we're locked in, we're locked in. That's the culture around here. We always take a break at 10 o'clock. I have a little thing. You bring a thought, because we do like a Devo kind of thought. This week, our Devo's in this, give yourself a little bit of prep time. And then we always end around 9:30, so kind of get yourself, ready to end around that time. And if we go a little bit over, it happens if there's a good conversation, but not always, right? That kind of thing. I would say that if you can do those two things, you will have successful collabs. All right, this month, we're talking about retro. Oh, fun. I don't know what that means, but that sounds fun. I'll learn more about it so I can do a great job serving others. I've done some really good ones, and others have been painful. I want to do them more, enjoy them more. Okay, so there, you remind me of another thing to consider, and that is who you collab with. You're not gonna be able to collab with everybody. There are gonna be people who just simply don't get it. They don't get what you're doing. They don't know why you're doing it. They want to collab, and either their heart's in the wrong place, or their mind isn't like built that way, or whatever. So when you collab, it's okay to be like, you know what, I don't think it's gonna work out between us. It doesn't work that way. Make sure I think you still can be choosy about who you do. You can't just do anybody. It's not everybody's good at collaboration. Not everybody's good at entertainment, right? Not everybody's good at the theological stuff. Not everybody's good at whatever the thing is. And if you're in pain because that person is not good, and it's like talking to them like pulling teeth, and they're bad at the actual activity, that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. I just realized I'm on the wrong screen. This one. There we go. Fabric is chaotic, and they're not. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. When I collab, when I first started collabing, I didn't give anybody any. I was just like, come and hang out. It'll be fun. And then when they showed up, and it really bugged me, because some showed up and they're like, I want to win the game, and they just took off like it was Minecraft, and poof, off they go. And I'm like, we're not together. We're not doing the same thing. You're off solving all the problems, and I'm having a mug for the whole stream. You're just gone. That sucks. And then I've had other people where we were playing another game, and it was meant to be like a scary game, and we were kind of hanging out together, and then people start kind of leaving. They broke up with each other. They're going to different places, not to like interact or whatever, to do stuff. They were just like, one guy just went and stayed in the truck, and the other people were out of conversation. Like, we couldn't have a reaction together. We couldn't do things together. It wasn't like we're playing off of each other. Everybody was different. So beforehand, I've learned, you say, I flat out said, we're not trying to win the game. We are trying to entertain people. This is intended to be something fun to watch. If you take off, if you're hardcoring this thing, it's going to be not as fun. So come with the right thought, come with the right attitude, come with the right, kind of like understanding. And then we've had a much better time since. But that being said, when I am somebody who goes on somewhere else, that's my thought too. Make it interesting, make it fun, make it something. Hey, Wolfcat, good to see you. That happened to you too? Yeah, man, it's a bummer. I'm very good at games, and sometimes he leaves me behind. I don't want him to do everything for me ahead of time. Play with him. That's exactly the point. It's way more fun to do things with people. With people, man. With people. Retro's the new cool, says the owner of TokyoTreat. Visit one of Japan's most nostalgic kissatens or coffee shops, or listen to your favorite feel-good city pop soundtrack. Love me some J-pop. Well, K-pop. I love K-pop. Classic old snacks to throwback vibes. This box is full of throwback. I'm excited. I don't know what throwback is when you're in Japan because I've never been there, but that's fun. When people are patient with those who do not play games well, and they don't make them feel bad for messing up, it is enjoyable. And you're trying to be enjoyable. If everybody's frustrated, if anybody's frustrated, you are, so's your audience. So's your audience, okay? Promise. You don't want to be that person who is frustrating the guest or frustrating the host. It's a team game and it's all about the audience. All right, not that. Hey, TokyoTreat fam. The fam, we're the fam. This month we're taking you back to retro Tokyo, where neon lights glow, cassette tapes play on repeat. To bring back the lively spirit, we packed this box with snacks inspired by the city's old school charm. From timeless sweets to throwback flavors, every bite is filled with nostalgia and feel-good fun. Pop open your box, turn up the good vibes, and snack your way through your own Tokyo throwback adventure. I'm so excited! Retro Japan. I never lived in Retro Japan, but, you know, that's okay. A cozy kissaten. You know what's ironic? Actually, now that I think of it, hey, Sunshine's on YouTube. That's funny. Oh, my partner with me is in a bad spot. I'm sorry. That's a terrible place to put that. Put it over here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Not great, but better. We were just playing Wuthering Waves yesterday. We were in a kissaten. We were in a cafe. That was the whole thing yesterday. That's fun. We were in Retro. Actually, wait, we might have been in Retro Tokyo. This might be the best thing we could have opened based on yesterday's stream. I'm so excited for that. I want to do stuff together, not solo. I mean, isn't that what it means to when you're invited to a game or stream? Like why I like Truckee with friends. You grab the same job and then proceed. Yeah, things that force you to stay in the same spot. Like I was watching Ibby play Kiwi. I think it's just called Kiwi. You're a Kiwi and you're doing stuff with another person. You have to be in the same group and you have to coordinate. Same with Chained Together. You can't go far, right? It actually worked really good. I haven't searched in a while. Oh yeah, yeah, it's right there. All right, let's keep going here. So sweet memories. Flavors can be a time capsule too. Many Japanese candies and snacks have been loved for generations. So this is the picture. That's kind of fun. And that's obviously Superman and I think the guy from Jujutsu Kaisen. I think maybe. No, I actually, I subscribed to this. I had to. I didn't for a long time because it's actually not cheap, but I'm like, I love doing this on stream. I love it. Japanese city pop has taken the world by storm. Is there a good song that I don't know? There you go. I like playing games with people, but I prioritize spending less time on my PC and during streams. It's hard because almost everyone else is at work. Yeah, that's rough, man. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to. I love collabing. I really do. I love riffing. I love like chatting with folks. I love like having those conversations. I'm just really terrible at it. I just don't do it. I wish I could. Blue Chrono says, worst thing from a collaborative game perspective, I've experienced where a game teleports one player and someone goes off. So not only are they not able to keep up, but they can't do anything on their own. I was playing Kirby with my daughter the other day, Kirby and the Lost something or other world. And every time one of us got left behind, well, actually, whoever wasn't Kirby who got left behind got teleported right next to them. And I'm like, that's a good system. I'll take that. There are other cultures that offer these. So actually, there's a system, cheese. If I were to do this again, there is something called. Let me locate it, because what's it called? Global Eats. One sec. Universal Yums. That's what it's called. Universal Yums. Okay. So go look up Universal Yums, because what they do is they put together a box from different countries all over the world. And like actually last month was Japan, but they do from different countries, which is very cool. I didn't sign up for that one first because I really love Japanese stuff. I just think it's so much fun. And the box they were doing, I think that month was Britain, like somewhere I think UK, and I'm like, wow, those snacks look terrible. So I didn't want to do it. Banana Kit Kats, yes. Let's get this thing fired up. Me and Donna truck together every second Saturday of the month. That's so cool that you guys can have a schedule. What's it like having a schedule? Is that neat? Is that good? Is that helpful? I streamed last week, also canceled this week because I need to clean the house. Because I need to clean the house. Guests coming? Yeah. Life, man. What are you going to do? Yeah. Well, I think there probably is. I don't know if there's a Korean one, but I'd imagine a lot of different places have. But I would say that Universal Yums is the way to go. Although, !TokyoTreat. If you want to do this box and you enjoyed this box, you use that code and I will get money. You need a schedule. I hear you, man. Yeah. So banana Kit Kat. They always taste like what it says it is. I don't expect much else. Question is it any good? Those two characters from Dragon Ball Z and the other one, I know. I was messing with you, Wolfcat. I was waiting for somebody to correct me. I was shocked that nobody did. Yeah, well, Inuyasha's a retro, dude. Inuyasha's retro. I know Inuyasha. My daughter loved that show. It was funny when she commanded him to sit. That's funny every time. They do it every episode like 10 times. Still funny. Which code? !TokyoTreat. That is the link. That's my referral link. Kit Kat, normal Kit Kat. This is Japanese. This is a box from Japan. TokyoTreat. Oh, wow. So, interesting thing about banana flavor. In the banana actually died in somewhere in like the 70s. All bananas died because they were all part of like one seedling that got caught with blight, and then everything was susceptible. So they had to find a different kind of banana. Still a banana, but different. And so that's why if you're like, wow, why does banana flavor taste different than banana? Because that's what bananas used to taste like. This one here doesn't taste like banana from like our banana, like our medicine tasting banana. It's different. That's super interesting. It tastes a lot more like, I think it tastes a lot more like an actual banana that we have today. So, kudos Japan for using today's banana flavor. Well, what's the difference in their Kit Kat? They have 1 million flavors. That's the biggest difference. 1 million flavors. So I'm not allowed to, oh, that's got yakisoba in it. No. That's udon. Is this udon? We'll find out later. Well, good. That had no chocolate in it. Yes, artificial banana flavor is its own kind of thing. Exactly. Yeah, you have to like that flavor, not just bananas. Okay, City Pop Dreams, symbol of Japan's retro identity. This musical style brings lights and sounds, the spirit of bygone era. Okay. Japanese pop blends pop, funk, disco, jazz, and R&B back in the day. All right, cool. Known for her hit. So here's the City Pop. Here's I was waiting for an example. Known for her hit, Mayanaka No Door, Stay With Me, which saw a huge social media comeback in 2020. Miki Matsubara helped spark a fresh wave of love for the iconic music. I don't remember that song. Anybody remember? Always want to order myself TokyoTreat box, but between the cost and our dying postal service, it is, yeah, dude, I have it takes forever to get here, man. Like, I've had 2 come back to back because the 1 month took a whole month extra to come. City Pop's catchy tune or stylish sound are making a big comeback today. Are they really? Oh, with genres, they inspired lo-fi, synthwave, and vaporwave. Sure they did. Sure they did. I'm not sure that's true, but I'll take it. Chocolate donut. I wonder what a chocolate donut tastes like. I'd imagine very chocolatey and donutty. Oh, it's got coffee on it. This, come on. That's gonna be good. Baked to perfection, the sweet chocolate donut pairs perfectly with your favorite cup of coffee. I have a cup of coffee. I will tell you if it pairs well. It's crispy. It's donutty. That is one of the the bottom's a little weird. That's a cake donut. I don't like cake donuts as much. Kind of sticky, kind of dry. Hey, it traveled a long way. All right, Zai. 6 out of 10. Soda powdered drink. What? Oh man, I didn't know I'm gonna need water. How much water do I need? Retro fun, straight to your taste buds. Fizzy soda inspired drinks is both timeless and delicious. I will do this, but I'll do this in a video, and I'll put it on my Discord so that you guys can see what this looks like. I can't do it here. This is too much water. This is too much water. It's not gonna work. So I will I'll do this, but I'll put it on my probably on like a YouTube clip in pictures, and then I'll put it on Discord so that you'll be able to find it there. Okay. I like learning the cultural stuff too. 𝗧cznie culture. Explore the cozy world of Japan 𝗧cznie, where rich coffee, retro style, and relaxing moments come together. All right. Tasty sandwiches. Yeah, it's a cafe. We know how cafes work here too. 2 coffee worlds. While both 𝗧cznie and cafes serve coffee, their vibes are totally different. 𝗧cznie are all about peace and quiet, where cafes are made for chatting and hanging out. Oh, okay. I wish we had more of those. Because I go and I'll go work in a cafe, and it's not like they have a shush policy. You know what I mean? You just kind of, that's why you have headphones. You got to lock yourself out. Red velvet chairs, antique touches. See, I would like that. Although pub, if you go to an old school pub, they sometimes have like actual walls between all of the different tables. And that, I like that. I don't know. People, man, what are you gonna do? Caramel rice cracker bites. I bet those are good. What are those made of? Crispy rice cracker bites drizzled with sweet caramel. Yeah, probably good. If I can find them. There we are. Nope. That's smaller than I thought it was going to be. There's a law, I say this every month, but there's a law in Japan that says the picture on the package needs to look exactly like the product. You can't, fuss with it and like adjust it. So when you open it up, that's what it's going to look like. For sure. Unless it got pulverized and it's all sand now. Hopefully not. Yep. Isn't that crazy? How exact it is? That's so cool. That's really hard. I didn't expect it to be that hard. Is that puffed rice? Rice cracker. Yeah, it's like puffed rice, which is good. With some caramel on it. We have those in Canada. Do I live in the city? No. I am outside the city. I live in a town 15 minutes away from the city. So, I don't know if you've ever been to, in Canada anyway, the caramel rice cracker, like the discs, like the bread about yay big, tastes extremely like that. I like those. Not exactly health food though. When you it's covered in caramel and chocolate. It's hard to convince yourself that your healthy rice cake is health food. You ever had a rice cake? Oh, they're good. Like they're nothing. They're very little calories till you add all the caramel and chocolate to it. So you could eat a whole package, and then you're full. Chocolate manju. Manju. All right, manju is traditional steamed bun. It's a classic. You can't skip. Soft, fluffy texture, rich chocolate filling. That sounds delicious. Eat those plain ones that maybe has sea salt. Oh yeah, yeah. Those are pretty good. Put peanut butter on it, man. That's so good. If you ever want to do some trucking, shoot me a message. We can team up. Let's go. Collabs happening in the chat. That's a cool package. That's super retro. I love that. That looks so classy. That's super cool. Don't eat that. Eat this. I like that everything's chocolate flavored these today. Very bland. Not super flavorful, and it's super sticky. That inside stuff it was almost like a gel, like I don't know what the word is, like a paste. Oh, it'd be like if you had what's that rice ball stuff? That's with an M. Why can't I remember what it's called? You know, the goop that they make out of rice, and then it tries to choke you whenever you eat it. It tastes like that. Mochi. Yeah, kind of tastes like it's made of mochi. They were like Game Boy. So yes, well that's more fun. If everybody's on board and everybody's failing, then it's more fun. Puku pudding. That sounds fun. Take a sweet trip back to festival streets with takoyaki. Taiyaki. Not takoyaki, taiyaki. Beloved fish-shaped treat filled with chocolate. Man, they're 100% on board to this month. Chocolate pudding on the inside. Let's go. I've had these before. That like the fish-shaped things come all the time in these boxes, but they're usually like not super great. They're kind of bland, but I've never had a chocolate filled one. It's got a picture of the pudding on it, so I'm kind of excited. Ooh, it comes in a fancy little container. And it's perfectly held together. Let's hear it for TokyoTreat. You know what? You'd think them having to send it all the way over here would make it like everything show up as a fine powder, but it doesn't. They actually do a good job. They do a good job. People online rag on them all the time for being, like expensive, taking too long, whatever. I've never had a bad experience with TokyoTreat. The first box took forever to get here. The rest come when they come, and then I open them. Not consistent, but I don't need it to be. The only one who's stressed out is my daughter, because she gets this every month. She gets whatever the noodle thing is, and she's like, I'm jonesing for the Japanese noodles. Go get me some. And I'm like, oh, they're on their way. So, have you ever had those little stick wafer cookies? They're about yay big, yay wide, different levels of wafer, and then cream in the middle. It's exactly what that tastes like. That is just like wafer with that chocolate like sauce in it. I love those. I can eat a zillion of those, and it kind of sucks all the moisture out of your mouth for a minute because it's so dry. That's exactly this. This is super good. But if you look at it, it's got both kinds of pudding. It's got the white pudding and the chocolate pudding. I don't think it said that. It's just chocolate creamy pudding. Oh, chocolate and creamy pudding. I read that it's chocolate creamy pudding. That is the pudding on the inside. Oh, that's super cool. Yes, that was lovely. I'll be finishing that. All right, what's next? Twisty cheese bites. Mr. Twisty's twisted cheese curls. Literally. I just found the thing that Larry the Cucumber likes. Twisty cheese bites, retro and cool. These tasty cheese bites, and a tasty blend of cheddar and camembert cheese powder. Yeah, this is gonna follow up that sweet thing real good. Where's Mr. Twisty Twisted Cheese Curls? A big bowl, very misleading. Do they have a healthier ingredients? I wouldn't say so. It's still like the same kind of preservatives and stuff. I wouldn't, it's not different. It's just like, yeah, you'd think that, like, well, you know, in Japan they have all this healthy food and whatnot. Unless it's made of rice and fish and all the veg they use, it's still prepackaged. It's still, you know, treats. Yeah, our treats are better. Our chocolate's better than the US because we have different laws about what our chocolate is like. So down there, they'll get a lot more, you know, candle wax taste and stuff. Whereas up here, we'll get better chocolate. But even that is going downhill when they're adding more and more fake chocolate. And, you know, at some point, they're going to have to change it to, it's not even calling chocolate anymore. It'd be like chocolate flavored. That's cool. Boy, that smells a lot. Oh, bro, 11 out of 10. That's so good. I will do this dance. Yummy. Wow, it's a cheese curl. Mr. Twisty Twisted Cheese Curl with camembert cheese. And apparently, brie. What? Yummy. So to get this to my house, I think about $60 a month. I paid for a pile, like I paid for like 6 months in advance, and it cost me $300. Is that it right? So it was a little less because I did 6 month subscription. It's not cheap, but it's fun. It's so fun. No, no, I did not get a discount. But if you use my code, like that code up top, you don't get a discount either. They just send me money. It's like, you have to use the code, I get 20 bucks. That's it. That's the deal. No, they don't even decrease the amount for you. It's weird. Camera Ramune candy. So Ramune means, I will finally remember this. It means lime. Say cheese, this camera's no ordinary one. Press the shutter button and taste Ramune candy. Pops out for super fun. Oh, please. Please. Oh, it's so small. Fun though, very fun. You have a World Market store? Yes. If you go to like we have something called TNT. They have a lot of this stuff. If you go to like any of the anime stores, if you go to like even Comic-Con, comic book shops and stuff, they have some of these. Hey, Data God, good to see you. Ramune? No. Ramune? Lemonade? Are you kidding me? Why do they do that? Why is that always like, that's so funny. What up, my dude? Good to see you. I'm gonna push the, how do you work? Hold on, how does it work? Push down. Do I have to open something? Push. Oh, look at that. Do I push down? It kind of opens that little sort of bit. Kind of, sort of. I think I got to get rid of this line here. I think this is in the way. Am I correct? Yeah, I got to take that gray thing off. Yes, there we go. Okay, good. So, there you go. Whoop. Whoop. That's kind of not working. The Japanese technology is working against me here. But Ramune, I will never forget that now. White. Of course I got white. Yep, turns out lemonade vapor candy from a really cool box. That's a fun box. That is a fun box. I like that. My kids are gonna like that. Yes, they're all in their 20s. Well, most of them are. But they still like cool stuff because they're not boring. Sure, yeah, disposable camera, right? Why have I never caught out about remedy? Right? I know. It immediately you're like, oh yeah, that's how that works. So many Japanese words. How do you say lemonade in Japanese? Remune? Oh, okay, cool. Mixed juice gummies. That's fun. I like gummies. They're not my favorite. Oh, it comes resealable. Far out. My wife likes gummies. Can she have these? May contain wheat, egg, dairy, orange, kiwi, soy, banana, peach, apple, almond, cashew, walnut, sesame. Not vegetarian. Yeah, okay, might have anything in there. They don't even know. Could be anything in there. Those are cool. Meep. If you want, you can shoot me a friend request and we can start trucking Empire with Sunshine. Let's go. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fun. I need more excuses to collab. It looks like a little beer. Kinda, sorta. What's it supposed to taste like? Taking you back to Japan's Showa era. With the sweet, gentle flavor of charming retro packaging, these gummies are your ticket to fun-filled blast from the past. I can't blast to the past that I've never had, but... Yeah, little foamy top on this. Tastes like a gummy bear. But strong. Really strong. Whew, that's a lot of flavor. I don't know what it means either. I just say stuff. Yeah, I hear you, man. Pizza pretzel sticks. Yeah, I can handle those. I like pizza. I like pretzel sticks. That's the most Italian-looking Japanese thing I've ever seen in my life. Next up, that includes a web page with controls so AI can customize stuff. Oh, no way! Clock still running. Soon to be using Grok to tidy up the code to make new features. That's cool, man. Seriously? If you could make it more, engage more with my chat, like by itself or whatever. Yeah, I do love AI. I think it's great. I think it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just used AI to fix a lot of stuff. Like, see that little thing on the corner? You guys don't see it on YouTube, but over there, where it is, like there. I made that with AI. Great. Where? Hold on. What happened here? How long does it look like that for? That's no good. Weird. All right. I love it. I'm just... Oh, this is great. You still go to the stream and have good people skills. You have bad anxiety in person. How do you differ when in RL? Terrible anxiety, crippling social anxiety, absolute introversion, terror, hiding in a corner, standing behind chairs so nobody can see me whenever anybody's around. That's how I am in person. Unsurprisingly delicious. I don't know about pizza though. No? Yeah, the snozzberries taste like snozzberries. For sure. Wow, it was very yummy. Pizza. I thought you had a new clock display. No, what? No. Oh, that thing there? No, it just does 3 announcements and then alerts. Like if I get a bit alert or if I get like a follow or whatever, it has a little custom message. No, I was thinking about that when I'm like, it's not gonna be able to do that. That's for sure. It just does a little simple thing. Actually, that inspired this. I just think that looks cool. I was looking for a way to make announcements that people can look at and kind of be interested in. That was yummy. Strong. Holy moly. Actually, it's kind of sticking with me. That has a lot of flavor. Yeah, I'm gonna bring a blanket if I ever get a chance to meet up with you and wrap you in it, dude. I do. That I'm not even joking. I did. I was at an event it was a while back, and I was hiding behind a stack of chairs because I was so nervous to be there. It sounds awful, but it's true. If I'm in charge, or if I'm speaking, or if I have a reason to be there and you give me a job, I'm good. I can suck it up. But if I'm just there, I'm hiding. I'm under a bench. You can get. I can turn it on and off. Yeah, for sure. I'm still, you know, I was still a public figure for like a decade and a half. So I can still turn it on and off. Pen and focus. Say cheese. Jump into Japan's retro camera scene, where every snap turns simple moments into fun memories forever. Did they bring back camera, like camera film? No way. And Polaroids? In camera, in Japan, instant cameras are called 𝗧cie. It's a cute name that comes from check it, because you can snap a photo and see it right away. Oh, fun. Taco group eating in the spare of reach. Yeah, literally. Yeah. I didn't hide in there once. I was busy all over the place, but that room was kind of built for people like me for sure. People are using film cameras in Japan. Could you even buy film here? I bet you couldn't, even if you wanted to. There wouldn't be anywhere. Where would you even buy it? Actually, DataGod's a photographer. DataGod, would you even know where to go buy film if you wanted to? 𝗧cie. What is 𝗧cie? I don't know. You tell me. They're fun, low-cost snacks, kind of like Japan's version of penny candy. With their playful variety of small prices, they're a perfect, quick, sweet treat. Ramune is the superstar. It is famous for cool. Oh yeah, that's the where you pop the top on the bottom. Bubbly, nostalgic layer. Yeah. Love that. Umebo. I've had plenty of umebo. They usually put one in there. It's a giant Cheeto. Huge, super long Cheeto. And Competto. We had Competto a few months ago. That's just sugar candy. Like, have you ever made rock candy with sugar? Where it's like, it comes on a stick, or you put a string into like a bunch of suspended like sugar slurry, and it makes like a crystal. This is just that, but cooler looking. It looks like those things you catch in Mario. Very cool. Last two treats though. First one is the big katsu. Go big or go home with its classic fried katsu snack. Crispy with tender bite, is deep savory miso flavor makes every bite seriously satisfying. Really, miso? Okay. Younger people really love taking Polaroid pictures and seeing them develop. My daughter has a Polaroid. It's a tiny one. It's like a really small picture. I have a ton of them, like right here. I don't know. Hold on. Like all these pictures here are from Reach. I took them. My daughter was taking a bunch of pictures, and I'm like, cool. And if you see on the bottom, oh, you probably can't, but they signed all of them. It was very fun. So that was really fun. That was really, really cool. Oh, by the way, DataGod, you're a nerd. You might appreciate this. Guess who's streaming in 2K right now? My face, I've been doxxed. Yeah, fortunately my camera isn't that good. No matter if I'm running in 2K right now. And unfortunately my camera is still a webcam. So it's still in 1K, so it's probably a little bit blurry. But when I'm big, but when it's small like this, I think it looks really good. I have a 2K monitor. Looks so good. This is really hard to get into. That's weird. It's got the texture of like a chicken, like a deep fried chicken, like with powder on it. Like, what do they call that? Breaded chicken. Like breaded chicken. It's got these weird two lines on it. What is it? This is very retro. This is definitely a thing that old people would like. Get me a big katsu from the store. It's very, very chewy. Very tastes like meat, very savory, like it said. It's almost like the consistency of paper. Wow, that's strong. You can definitely taste the miso, for sure. But super salty. Weirdly chewy. Weirdly chewy. But the outside tastes like what you'd put on chicken, like a meat cutlet. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Okay, there you go. Yes, it tastes like it's breaded chicken on the outside with some cool sauce. That's like a nugget. It's like a chicken nugget. But wow, that's actually pretty good. I just wasn't ready for that level of flavor or spice. It was spicy too. Starlink is for everyone not aware, is more than just internet connectivity around the world. It is space-based infrastructure. Yeah, because you can go anywhere and do anything. It's huge. Speeds are amazing. Latency about 20 milliseconds. That's great. Keeps getting better and better. 300 meg downloads, 50 uploads. No way. So you could stream. That's great, because you didn't used to be able to stream on Starlink. Now you probably could. Kakipi. It's a terrible name. What better way to relive the old school days than with a snack that stands the test of time with its crispy rice crackers and fragrant peanuts? Yeah, okay, so this is, what do they call that? Chex Mix. Not Chex Mix. What's the other mix? The peanut mix. I hate Chex Mix so much. So gross. I always interpret main character syndrome as the guys cussing me, act as a man, get your crap together. Well, expectations here were to wait for people who wanted me to be alive for 20 years or so. That's the thing, man, is that, yeah, if you're yelling at somebody you have no business with because you're a jerk, especially somebody who's struggling, yeah, you're the problem. You're an a-hole. Don't be that. Those are weird looking, whatever they are. What are those? Those are crispy rice crackers? Okay. This is Chex Mix. Kinda. That tastes exactly what it sounds like. That's a cracker with some peanuts. Yummy. Fun. That was fun. Mmm. I like that. I'm old. I like old-timey retro things. So, interconnected by a laser, streaming is fully supported. My data can go around the world 30% faster than fiber. Oh, sick. Laser in space, yeah, it would be faster than in a vacuum because there's nothing in the way, for sure. Up next, moving AI process into satellites, 100,000 soon. Will power cars, robots, devices. Then we're going to Mars. Okay. I was going to say Napoleon or Neapolitan. It's not either one of those. Napolitan spaghetti. That's spaghetti. I thought it was udon. It is not. It is spaghetti. May I post link? You can try. Go ahead. We'll see how it works. It's fickle. It likes to let some people and not others. Get ready for retro flavor ride with Napolitan spaghetti. Nothing says Japanese like spaghetti. These noodles pair perfectly with a rich, savory tomato sauce for a simple yet satisfying bite that never goes out of style. My daughter's gonna be upset. The fact that this isn't ramen. I'm gonna get in trouble. Heat 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. Fry your favorite ingredients. Add the noodles. Stir fry over medium heat. Turn off the heat and then add included tomato sauce. So it's noodles with some tomato sauce. I guess that's a thing. You want to go retro? That's more. No, what's more retro than spaghetti? Is that a clip of me? Is that what that is? Yeah, that's me. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you can clip, it's always helpful. Always, always helpful. On side of satellites going to orbit, look like a train of stars moving relatively quickly across the sky. That's cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Blast from the past. Let's see. Look at that. It's all the Dragon Ball characters. Hooray. Inuyasha 2000. That's 2000, really. Gundam. I watched a Gundam show recently, but it was a brand new one, and it wasn't about the robot so much as it was about the people. Mobile Suit Gundam. Yeah, I've never seen Gundam. I've seen Inuyasha. I watched Dragon Ball right up to the what's the pink guy's name? The boat. I can't remember. Anyway, the pink gummy guy. Gross. It's so not gross. It's so boring. They fought Boo, yeah. Fought and fought and fought and then won and then lost and then fought and then won and then lost. And it was just like I was just tired of it. I couldn't take it anymore. June contest. If you take a bunch of pictures, you might be able to win yourself some bowls. Neat. Cool. That was fun. That's fun. All right. I'm going to put this junk away. But we're done for the day. I will come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Skyrim day. We're going to be playing Skyrim on Fridays. I am a squishy mage doing my best to not die. But I unfortunately had to put some armor on last time because being squishy and not having the power to protect myself just got me killed a bunch, believe it or not. So we're going to be doing that. We're also going to continue on next week. I'm going to have some announcements. So if you're listening, hopefully by the end of this weekend, I'm going to have a big announcement on my Substack. Okay. So if you're not subscribed to my Substack, please go do. If you're a content creator, I put a bunch of stuff out there for you guys too. It's usually what we talk about on the stream and then edited as it's content, as for like an actual article. But big announcement coming on Substack. Make sure you check it out.
Shut up and take my money.
What's up, Donnie? Good to see you, man. Yo, thank you for the bits, my dude. See, look up there. Does that. Thank you. Very cool of you. That's very nice of you. Thank you for the bits. Very helpful. Hey, look at that. Cool. Very cool. All right, we're gonna raid out. Who are we gonna raid? Pastor Baggins? I haven't raided him in a long time. Sure, let's go with that. What's he playing? Oh, he's playing Superliminal. You guys want to go from weird to weirder? Yes. Tomorrow I'll be back. We're playing Skyrim all day. No talk. Because I can only be so interesting for so long. I need a break. So tomorrow just going to be Skyrim. Come hang out. Enjoy your time. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.